Not everybody is an entrepreneur and business owner by heart. Most creatives that call themselves creative entrepreneurs, when they start running a business, they understand they're not businessmen or women. They say, I can't do this. It's not in my nature. I'm a creative, but in these past 5 years, I have built a 7-figure business and I have not touched Figma. And I don't want to ever go back to touching Figma again. I want to grow businesses. I want to be that CEO. So stress will always be there, but the business will grow to the level that I grow. And that's, again, within our control.
A lot of creative entrepreneurs growing their businesses have fears when it comes to hiring freelancers or outsourcing. So how did you go about finding the right people you felt you can trust?
Number one, you need to understand that in order to build a business, you need to hire people. And you need to get into a mindset of like saying, I need to hire people that are doing this better than me.
Can you share a framework of how to find a trustworthy freelancer?
When you want to hire, number one, make a list of what you want to hire for. It's like the areas of responsibilities, right? It needs to be very, very clear. What do you want to hire this person for? The second thing is, what are your values? So there's the things that you value and things that you cannot stand. For instance, I cannot deal with woke mentality. I'm anti-woke. And so anybody who's like woke or, like extreme to one side of something, I would not hire them. If you understand your values and you write those down, that's what you look for in an interview as well. And you're like, hey, tell me about yourself. Tell me about your life. And then another thing is to ask them about the responsibilities and understand they have expertise in, because not just saying, yeah, I can be a designer. Right. But have you ever run a design system? And can you explain to me how? And number one, I have to understand every business has what's called a customer acquisition process and a talent acquisition process. People treat like, oh, I need to get clients. No, you also need to get talent. You have to have an active talent acquisition funnel, and I have that. For me, it's like a job ad. The job ad is running all the time. I pay monthly to have that job ad running. I experimented with a couple of resources to run that job ad. People are applying, and the job ad is actually connected to a form, a Monday form. We work with Monday. You can work with whatever you want. They go out and fill in the form. In the form, the questions are already there, like some things that we can identify that we learned with time. Like, if you get accepted, can you start immediately, or do you have to give 30 days notice? Because we already had that experience where we hired someone and it was like, and the client wants to start, next week, but now the person needs to give it 30 days. We also ask about their expectations. Like, what are your reasonable expectations in the form? And then after they fill out everything and we asked about everything that is like top line important for us, that brings them into Monday. And in Monday, we have a very specific process. Now we start filtering them. My design director, he goes in and he filters them basically by either country, because sometimes we know some countries we don't work with. Okay, Eastern Europe, there's amazing talents. Great. Once they're in Eastern Europe, then they look at the portfolio, change the status to, ready for interview. That moves on to another group inside that Monday form. Interview is set, an automatic email is sent that says, hey, thank you, we would love to have you as an interview with a link to the Calendly, please book here. And once they book the interview, we get them on their interview and we get the entire home assignment. If they are accepted, we communicate to them if we have something active right now that's in the pipeline, or if not, we also communicate it early. Like, look, we're interviewing you, but we don't have something specific, just to get in the pool that we can call you when we got a client that matches.
We need it.
Yeah. And our goal, which we never actually hit, which is, for me, it's like, I want to hit that goal, but I want to be actively on 10 designers in my pool at any given time that are vetted and have passed the home assignment and passed everything. We haven't got there yet because, again, we don't have someone just sitting on interviews all day. We do it while we're doing the rest of our delivery job. Every time we need to hire someone different, we just get, we post a different job ad. Feel free to copy my talent acquisition process and enjoy.
Hey, please consider subscribing to the channel and joining our growing community of seasoned, mission-driven entrepreneurs. Find insights to help you break free from the endless grind, build sustainable momentum, and confidently break through your current ceiling.
What advice do you have for creatives that feel like they're losing touch? And you delegate or you outsource your craft to other people, and you spend more time doing the strategic work and then managing the business. What's your advice?
Look, not everybody is an entrepreneur and business owner by heart. And most designers, most creatives that call themselves creative entrepreneurs, when they start running a business, they understand they're not businessmen or women. They say, I can't do this. It's not in my nature. I'm a creative. I do want to make more money so I can hire a few freelancers and work with them, but they will never grow to become a company. And I can say, in my case, I am actually more a business person than a designer now. In these past 5 years, I have built a 7-figure business and I have not touched Figma, which is the tool that we use for design. And I don't want to ever go back to touching Figma again. I want to grow businesses. I want to grow companies. I want to be that CEO. That's what I'm growing now.
How do you create a team that understands the creative DNA and support your creative vision without restricting their own creativity?
Frameworks. You have to think and create frameworks for how you work. What made you great? When a client would come to you, what process would you do? How do you break it down? Step number 1, I do this. Step number 2, I do this. Step number 3, ask him the question this. Step number 4. And then after that, give it a name, the Lederman framework. And once you give it a name, that's what you teach to anybody you onboard to your company. Any new freelancer or employee that you bring onto your company is now onboarded with proper video trainings on the Lederman framework. And now they know how to work with your clients. And next time they come to you with a question, they're like, my client said, I didn't do a good job here. And I need to understand how can I fix it? Then you can see, okay, let's get on a Zoom call, share your screen and show me how you run through the Lederman framework. And now they will show you and you're like, oh, you see, in that step, you got it completely wrong. We do X, not Y. That's where you messed up. Let's go back. All right. So, and then you got to train them on the frameworks all the time as well. So we have a weekly call with the agency where everybody's like getting on Zoom and I train them. I keep training them on the same 2 frameworks that we have. We keep doing another training and training how to do it like in this situation. And then how do we do it with that use case and that use case? And this part of the framework, is not clear to you guys. I see you guys coming in the recent weeks with bugs on this, part. So let's train on that this week. And that's how we do it.
And on a crucial note, if you're struggling with passion and energy for your business, missing sleep or lacking focus, these are all signs of burnout. In my experience, burnout is something almost every entrepreneur faces at some point. And if you're not ready, it can take you out. That's why I created the Burnout Free Business Guide, a simple 7-day guide to help you reset your relationship to your business, your mindset, and more. If you like this guide, check out the link in the description, enter your email, and I'll send it your way.
Besides the frameworks that you can build for yourself, there's also the vision that you explain and communicate to them. You have to always communicate your vision as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, to your team. Always communicate the vision. Always also ask them what their vision is. It's something else that we also ask in the interviews, by the way. It's like, what's your vision? Where do you want to be in like 5 years? Like we ask them this question because we want to make sure they align, that we help them get to their vision. A business only becomes successful once you help your team members get to their visions. Not thinking only about yours, but making sure it's aligned and helping them reach theirs while they're helping you and they know they're helping you reach yours. That's when a great team is aligned.
They're creatives.
Yeah.
They want to create. They want to work for you.
Yeah.
They want to be a part of the team. They need the money. But they still have this edge. They want to do something of their own. They want to express themselves. I don't know if it's something of their own, just to express themselves.
That's the vision.
I was in the band at Tikva 6, Tikva 6, very successful band in Israel. Yeah. Bass player. When I started there, I started with the band because I loved the people and it just sounded great to me. But hey, I was a rock guy. They were playing reggae. I didn't even understand that music. And in order to fit in, I asked the singer who writes all the songs, what should I do? How to play? And he showed me. He actually really showed me how to play my bass. Even he wasn't the bass player. Yeah. How to play a reggae bass. And I did that for a while. And then I had the urge of starting, of wanting to do stuff of my own, but it didn't fit his framework. Mm-hmm. And as time went by, I started to feel more and more and more constrained to his way of doing things until I couldn't take it anymore and I left.
Okay.
Do you think he could have done it better to preserve me in the band? Yeah. Let me do my own thing while I'm serving the big picture?
Yeah, he could, when he hired you, or when you were in the first discussions together, I don't know, drinking coffee or whatever, he could have asked you, we do reggae. Do you do reggae? And you would have said no. and you both would continue as friends, and that's it. You wouldn't, sometimes it's that simple.
Wow.
It's that simple. Like, do you do reggae? No. Do you like reggae? No, I don't mind. Okay, but it's not your passion, right? Not really. Okay, bye. Super simple. You could have found.
You said we both wasted 5 years of our lives being together.
No, I mean,
and,
there's a reason everything happens. There's a reason everything happens. But, like, you might have said, like, at the beginning, I don't mind reggae, but your framework of playing reggae is something that I just don't really connect to. But for instance, I'm just taking it to our interview process right now. It's an alignment thing. Like, you could have understood that, and you didn't waste any time. You worked together, and probably you enjoyed your good friends together, and the band became super popular, and now you got that, in your resume, and it's amazing. By the way, when I joined Fiverr, I left because I couldn't work with that culture as well. I didn't have an alignment as well. It's not that it wasted my time. I didn't waste theirs, and it didn't waste mine, because I have this in my resume, and it served me so many times. And they have me as a friend, and they called me up already 3 times in the past 3 years to work with them.
So it goes back to finding the right fit, someone who will be able to feel like he's expressing himself within the framework that is going to be given.
And you can say, I have a framework. This is how we work. You got to understand that if you work with us, this is the framework in which you work at. I'm completely open to you challenging this framework, because, by the way, I am open. If my designers come to me and say, Sagi, your framework is a piece of crap, like I would say, fine. What do you suggest? What framework should we use? But no matter what, I do not want to guess any part of my delivery. I want everything to be process-oriented and documented. And the framework is the IP. So it gives even a deeper meaning. If my framework doesn't work, show me where, and I will take that part out. I will change it. I will do whatever it takes. So any of my employees, any of my designers are welcome to always challenge me and make me change the framework. I would love that. I would love to become better. But at the end of the day, there's only, for instance, like in reggae, there's probably only like one great way of playing reggae. I don't know guitar or anything.
Not one, but not many.
Yeah. So that's exactly it. So sometimes you have to do things in a specific way. And by the way, if my designers would have said, Sagi, look, I know we're doing like this and that way, right? We have for instance, we do something with sticky notes. Like, I don't want to use sticky notes. I draw on paper. I would say, if your result at the end of the day, the clients love it, I would be okay with you drawing on paper, fine.
Hey, if today's conversation resonated with you, check out the next video to discover new strategies, get inspired, and find the guidance you need to reach your next business level without the burnout. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode.